Those little hands that wrapped around his father's tools and banged nails into a board with a hammer. The ringing of the hammer and the sounds of agony jolt me out of my reverie. From the soft folds of memory, I'm awakened to the harsh reality of those precious hands, being pierced through flesh and marrow by a rusted nail. And his cries of agony are echoing in my heart and down into the very depths of my soul. Those hands that held mine as a child are now being mutilated. Those hands that held my face between them as he gently kissed my forehead and headed out to do what his father had sent him to do. Those hands that had crafted my table and chairs, that touched blinded eyes and made them see. Those hands that held my husband during his dying breaths. Those hands, the gentlest and holiest of hands, being pinned to a rough-hewn cross. I've spent my life protecting him. It turns out the 9 months he was sheltered within me was the only time I could truly protect him, and really, not even then. Even then, we were in danger of death because I wasn't married. Even his birth was terrifying because there was no place to bring him into the world but a filthy stable filled with animals. I've tried to protect him from his siblings. They don't understand or remember that holy night. They never saw an angel or dreamed those dreams. They just know him to be different. They know him to build with their father, and then they watch him leave us, leave the family business. They've heard me cry late into the night. They didn't believe him when he told them what and who he was. I couldn't protect him from his own family any more than I can protect him from the Pharisees or Rome. And so here we are. My firstborn son being tortured to death by Rome and under decree of our people. My hope and my lifeblood destined for death. It is good the angel didn't tell me this. It's good that I didn't know, or I would not have been able to bear it, or to bear him. To withstand the years in Egypt hiding until Herod died, the constant moving, the constant fear that I would let some pain befall the very Messiah. In the end, there's nothing to do but weep. The cross is erected, and he cries out in pain as it is centered into the ground, and the nails tear his hands, and the jolt resonates through the wood. To those around me, he is their teacher, their leader, and their friend. To others, he's an apostate, a blasphemer, and a criminal. Others still know him as a healer, a miracle worker, and a mystic. But to me, he's just my baby. To me, he is my son, and for any mother to have to see her child in pain is beyond understanding and comprehension. I gladly would have thrown myself in his place. All we've gone through together, from when the Holy Spirit enveloped me and I felt him within me that first time, to the dreadful day when we lost him in temple, to the wedding where I urged him to do what I knew he could, and now it all ends in death. In death. Surely this is a nightmare. But no. My son calls to me from his cross. I've looked because I must, and it's all I can do as a mother. In a few words, he gives care of me to his friend and his brother. He lays on a slab now, cold. He is still my son, and yet he is not. The women have helped me to prepare his body for burial. We've washed as much of the blood away as we can, but the scars from the evil crown they crammed on his head We cannot hide. The flesh hanging from his back in ribbons, we bandaged and wrapped, trying to preserve as much similarity to my child as possible. And now we begin to mourn. The stone is rolled over the entrance to a borrowed tomb, and just like that, my son is dead. The Messiah is gone. My heart is wrenched and broken and shattered. I want to die, but there's too many around to allow me that solace. It's been 2 days. One of the women has come running into the house we're staying at. Her eyes are shining and her countenance is filled with great joy. She breathlessly whispered to one of the disciples, and they pulled back in incredulity. They tried to keep it from me, but I heard. Stolen, body gone, guards, words filtered in and out of my hearing, and then I felt it. I once again felt the peace and promise, and I know my son is alive.